So now we talk about how to reach the youth, and this is something I don't want to sound like I would be somehow super old or looking too much from the distance or whatever, because I do think that I'm quite hop, young people, me and young people, we speak same language, they know who's Brad Pitt, Mel Gibson, Road Warrior, everything, um, Turtles, He-Man. But nevertheless, um, what I've noticed is that since I've worked a lot with trying to get a job for young people, I've worked also a lot with trying to get a job to young people who are already outside of the labor market. When I was working in a project that was related to Finnish unemployment office and etc. And now we have been dealing a lot with young people with the simulations, education and training, and we sell games to young people. So I've had access to conversations with youth, and I have noticed that Jesus, every year it gets more and more difficult to reach them. I think it has something to do that again, education sector comment coming, alarm. So education sector has been staying the same as it was when it was invented in Prussia in 18th century. Really, it's still the same concept. But what has changed is the people we are teaching. If you looked at how quickly the technology has gone forward, it's like crazy. So many things have happened in the last 40 years. And I think it's getting faster, faster and faster, that gap between understanding that what language are the people even talking is becoming way more bigger. I had this problem already, like let's say 6 or 7 years ago, that I tried to tell one young person in a recruitment event that I will send you a text message, and this young person was, what is a text message? And I was like, it's a text message. And then the young person said, do you mean snapping? And I was like, what is snapping? And then yeah, it was snapshot, but I had no idea what that is. So even sending a message became difficult. So how to kind of get to know your possible end users, which are the young people or the people you have to teach or train to work, is that try to talk to them, but try to also make them participate with things that you are doing, because that has been the most enlightening for me and people I work with, essentially, that the young people are taking part in the decision making, and there you get to know them. Like for example, since the company I work with is doing this kind of platform that makes it possible for people to create virtual reality content with Unity Game Engine in Unity Game Engine platform. So essentially we gave this kind of task for small group of students, that you have 1 month and make a simulation, and it was simulation about meeting places. So how they figured it out was that you are creating this kind of memes there, that you show memes to interact, and then if you want to talk, you put your head as a light bulb, for example. Okay, great. I wouldn't have thought about it, because I thought that the virtual reality itself is already enough disassociating you from you, that you are more braver there. But it's not like that, and it's actually something that, at least in conversations that I've had with teachers, that more and more young people have problems with going in front of classroom, for example, or talking with a big group of people, and people become more and more shy. And some people say that it is because how we look like has become a thing, our bodies, and how we are, and bullying is more and more related to how you look like and everything, and it's also the internal pressures, how you are, and especially because probably everybody knows that you can be taken a picture about, it might be also many different things that happens nowadays with social media. And then I was also thinking again what I always say, that virtual reality should be a place, for example, where you could be something else. So even if you create avatars and put young people to interact in virtual reality, for example, and it still resembles you as your avatar. Let's imagine that you are a young person and you are expected to go into virtual reality in virtual reality school, and then you are creating your avatar. You are probably thinking that you kind of have to make avatar that looks like you, because if you are this or that, the people in the simulation also know that it's you, but you look different, and you might even get bullied because of that. So if I would definitely go for this, that if there is any kind of simulation or meeting app that features young people or people in general in VR, it should be completely different. You are, for example, a flying guitar, or you are light ball, or you are whatever there, which is completely different than you are in reality. That would democratize quite likely the interaction and talking with the other people, especially for young people. And this is the direction that I've noticed how to reach young people, is that they are looking for these kind of solutions that they usually choose when we are giving them a chance. And yes, I talk about VR context a lot, but that's where we get our information often about young people. But yes, it's often this kind of that they want more, even more easier ways to interact. They want more different ways to interact. They want certain level of emojis, and even that's not enough. So when you really give the young people and work with them directly, it really helps you to also understand more about their problems and wishes, rather than you are just being an adult, so to say, or a professional, so to say, who are imagining what the end user group might like or do. So I have videos also about end users and everything, so you can check them out. But nevertheless, this is the way I think that you can actually stay on top of the game and stay up to speed. That's how this youth is thinking, and also a little bit scratch about that, what might be the issues that they are going through, which is different than in the nearest past. So that's it for today.